Hello and welcome to Paper Plate Julie K. Today I will be sharing a process video of how I put this snippet tag together using laces and trims for my stash. I just wanted to kind of show you guys some of the stuff that I will be using in my little snippet tag that I'm working on. And I am working on a snippet tag for a challenge that Amy Love is having. And so again, since this was kind of a snippet challenge, I did go ahead and look at what I had. And I did have some of this canvas paper, some scraps left over from a journal cover that I did a while ago on one of my junk journals. And it is pretty thick paper, and it does have a little plastic backing to it. It's not really like stiff, it's still very pliable and bendable. And so I did take some of that scrap and I cut it down for this tag so that it would measure 3 by 6. And then just to give the tag just a little bit of stability or sturdiness to it, I did also go ahead and take a manila file folder that I had, a piece that I had left over again from a journal cover, and cut it to size for my base. And I went ahead and I sewed just with a straight stitch and kind of a light pink thread. I did go ahead and just sew those pieces together. So that's going to be the base of my tag. And then I also went through items that I had already printed digitally. I don't have any items printed on fabric currently, so I went ahead and just grabbed something that I had printed on paper. This is from an Etsy seller called Christy Art Design. I did trim it down because it was ATC size, and I went ahead and added it to another scrap piece of the manila cardstock just to give it a little bit of stability. And somewhere on the front of the tag I will be putting her on the tag. And then I just wanted to show you guys, I did go ahead and go through all my little laces and trims that I have. I don't have a lot of big pieces of lace or trims, but I do have some small snippets. And again, this is a snippet challenge. I know I do have a couple appliques that I took off of a bridal gown, so I did throw those in here. I have some trims that I'm almost to the end of on their spool, so I added them there. So I did just throw all this stuff kind of in a little tray that I'll be working off of. Of course, I won't be using all of this stuff on my final tag, but I did want to grab some stuff out to start playing with and working with. I do have some other little piles sitting around me of buttons and some things like that that I could possibly add to my tag. Currently, other than what I just showed you with that image, I don't really have a plan in my head of what I want to do. To begin with, I start with a white eyelet and attach it to the top of the tag using my We Are Memory Keepers Crop-A-Dile. Next, I decided to try out a 3-inch piece of lace trim and possible scrap fabric for a pocket on the back side of the tag. I attached the lace trim with Fabri-Tac glue on the front and back side of the tag for a base layer. I do poke a hole through the lace to keep my eyelet hole open so I can later attach a ribbon through it. I decide on a piece of lace trim from my stash and cut it in half and attach it to both sides of the tag, again using Fabri-Tac glue. Next, I try out various laces and trims to try and get an idea of how I want to decorate this tag. At this point, I start to formulate a plan in my head of what I would like this tag to look like and decide to start by framing the tag with this trim. I continue to try out bits and pieces to see what I would like to attach next. I really like the look of eyelash yarn trim on my projects, so I glue this to the back of my picture with Aleene's tacky glue. I then attach the picture to the tag My next step is to frame the picture with appliques and trim. After framing this beautiful lady with bits and pieces from my stash, I try out a few more snippets on the tag and attach one small applique to the bottom right corner. Before finishing the front of the tag, I decide to add a pocket to the back side. I did decide on a double pocket that I did so off camera. The pocket consists of a fabric remnant and a lace snippet. Using hot glue, I add pink and bead trim around 3 sides to match the front of the tag.
To finish off the back pocket, I add another piece of trim to the top. You will see that I use an old index card in the pocket to protect my tag while gluing. I use this trick often to ensure that I don't accidentally glue my pocket shut. I decide to finish the corner edges of the pocket with some small acrylic flowers that have rhinestone centers. I have had these in my stash for quite a while, so I was happy to be able to use them on this project. I also eventually added a few of these acrylic flowers to the lace pocket for added interest and detail. Using Fabri-Tac glue again, I touch up a few areas that I missed when gluing the lace down. Next, I decide on a few more small applique pieces to decorate and finish the back of the tag. A few of the beads have fallen off of the applique, and I just placed them back on for the video so I can show you how it looks. But my plan is to glue them on after I am done filming so they have time to dry. Next, I add trim to the eyelet. I start out with some pink satin trim that I had left over from another project. I decide that the shade of pink isn't quite right, so I take it off and try some white seam binding instead. I am still not happy with the overall look and really want a little more pink. I end up using white tulle with a small pink ribbon entwined in it and attaching that for my final tag. Next, I add a handmade flower for my stash and hang some leftover bead trim behind it to dangle. As final touches to the tag, I attach a few flatback pearls and a couple more of those acrylic flowers. I really love how this tag is turning out. As I review what I have done thus far, I noticed that I could see the manila cardstock showing on the sides and decide to cover it up with a string of pink beads. I attached the tulle trim again that I had taken off when I added the string of pink beads. I finish off the look with a heart cabochon on the front and back of the tag. Thanks so much for watching this process tutorial today. I have done some editing and speeded up the video, but overall this project took me about an hour and a half to complete, and most of that time was me trying to figure out what types of trims and appliques I wanted on the tag. I hope you enjoyed this project and would love it if you took the time to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for future project shares and tutorials. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!